inside of the Suburb location awaits us, and I am so stoked. I'm so excited to be taking a look inside of it. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And boy, oh boy, is it a wonderful thing to be able to say that. It's actually wonderful on a few levels, because it's wonderful to be able to say that the inside of the Suburb location that we have unlocked does await, and we're gonna be able to take a look at that. But first, we've got some loose ties over here at the transportation hub we gotta go ahead and knock out. But then also it feels good to say that we're back, because not only are we back in another Last Day on Earth video, but me, myself, and I am also back from vacation. I've literally been gone for like the past 2.5 weeks. I've had some videos scheduled throughout that time, but yeah, I am officially back at home, and we are back doing the first thing that I did as soon as I got back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is hop into a little bit of Last Day on Earth action, because I have been missing it, and we are back doing what we love to do. And again, with a banger of a video coming y'all's way, so I hope that you are excited. I hope that you are stoked, and if you are, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. In addition to hitting that notification bell and stay in the loop with all things Last Day on Earth that are coming your way, because we are always keeping y'all in the loop with everything Last Day on Earth. As soon as new updates and new drop, as soon as any new information does come out, we are always making sure to spread that absolutely ASAP to your eyes, your ears, and all that jazz, so you are as aware of all things Last Day on Earth going on. And not just Last Day on Earth, but also other mobile survival games and survival games in general, because if you're like Last Day on Earth, there's a good chance you're also gonna like a lot of the other content going up on the channel as well. Like, hopefully y'all have had a chance to check out some of the Undawn videos that we have been posting. This chest was kind of okay. I've definitely seen better, man. Some of these locked chests considers to be such bangers in this location. Hopefully y'all been enjoying some of the Undawn content going on as well, because that's another mobile survival game that dropped recently, and it was some of the videos that I did have scheduled for my time away, because even though there have been videos being uploaded over the past like 2.5 weeks, I haven't touched a computer in that long, because I have literally been in Sicily, Italy, over with my fiance for the past 2.5 weeks, pretty much just enjoying a nice, let's freaking go, we got a pistol coming, baby. Love when we see a weapon coming out of one of these chests. But yeah, I've been enjoying a little bit of vacation time, pretty much the one time of the year that we go on vacation in the summer, you know, because in addition to all the YouTube videos and content we're doing, there's also the 9-to-5 job that I work, that I have to make sure that I have like vacation time available and stuff to be able to take a little bit of time away. So busy bee by every stretch of the imagination, but finally get a little bit of a chance to go. And it was absolutely incredible, by the way. Definitely missing home though near the end of it. I'm so excited to be back and be able to do what I love, which is play some video games, baby, and shotgun raid some zombies and send their heads flying, because ain't no better feeling in the whole wide world, other than the feeling of, I don't know, maybe y'all hitting that like button. That's a pretty cool feeling, I hear. I don't know, it's just something you should do, especially if you're enjoying the video. And speaking of cool feelings, hopefully y'all are having the cool feeling of having an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic day of the most days of variety that only keeps getting better from here on out, whether that be from the video, bringing you a smile, bringing you a giggle, anything or everything like that. Does not matter to me how a little bit of joy can go ahead and make its way into your day today. But I'm just crossing my fingers that neatly do. That's exactly what that joy do, because nothing else for a smile on my face like knowing that hopefully I can bring one to yours in some way, shape, or form, or fashion, because just knowing that I can hopefully, from all the goofs and gaffs and high octane action that we are getting up into in Last Day on Earth and just on the channel and within all the videos and all that jazz, just knowing that hopefully I might be able to change someone's day for the better and maybe get their mind off things that might, you know, be bringing them down a little bit otherwise, or, you know, maybe having a poopy day. Maybe I do something hilariously stupid, because I've got a tendency to be hilariously stupid at times, you know? It's a talent, I'd like to think. But whatever it might be, I'm just crossing my fingers that hopefully I can spread a little bit of joy and at least make someone, one single person's day out there at least a tiny bit better, because if so, that instantly validates, oh, dude, I forgot to bring the drone. My bad. It's been a while, man. I haven't played Last Day on Earth in like 2.5 days. I will get the drone though, and we gotta scan all these things, because we gotta, because yeah, we've gotta scan some of these suitcases and stuff so we can actually just see the loot inside and then claim that loot for ourselves, because that's ultimately where the best loot is gonna be able to be found throughout the entirety of this location. So definitely something that we are gonna wanna go ahead and make sure that we do over there, and something also that you wanna make sure to go ahead and do, especially if you have not yet. Just go to the link at the very top of the description, twitch.tv/Starsnipe. We're live every Friday at 6 p.m. p.m. Eastern time, playing Last Out Earth, having a ball, having a blast, and enjoying the heck and kicking off the weekend, enjoying the heck out of the weekend, and kicking the weekend off right every single Friday. It's experience time playing some Last Out Earth. We got the face cam on, we got the live chat rolling, the whole shebang, and just having an absolutely wonderful. Oh, let's go! We got a weapon bottle blueprint. Not every day, and you find one of those, but not the best one, unfortunately. That's all right. We'll continue chugging along. No worries, no worries. But yeah, it's always a great way to go in and kick off the weekend with some bonus Last Out Earth content coming your way. And it's a little bit different because obviously y'all can interact with me, interact with the whole community live. I can see y'all's chat. I can chat back with my words, like live while you're watching the stream. Y'all can interact in the chat. Y'all can see my face. It's a pretty good time. If you ask me, maybe like, Star, you said you stream every single Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, but where have you been for the past like 3 weeks? Yeah, like I said, I've been on vacation, and I can't schedule streams ahead of time like I can YouTube videos, because seriously, man, I want to ham, egg, and cheese on recording some YouTube videos ahead of time, so y'all hopefully had a good amount of content to enjoy during my absence. But yeah, now that we're back, man, gonna be able to get back on the streaming lifestyle as well, so no need to worry about that, my friends. And let's get the heck out of there, because that's going to explode. I'd like to make a con of that. Oh my, this is the first time I've ever only seen 1 riot zombie spawn in and 4 explosive zombies. Usually it's much more explosive, to say the least, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and continue kind of taking some of these schmucks down. See you later, alligator. And then this riot zombie just has to go ahead and throw down his shield, and we'll be looking good on that front as well. There you go, baby. Sayonara. See you later, alligator. Let's go and see what we can get up inside of this chest as well, and bang, bang, bang. The usual drone parts that await us. Unless you're really unlucky and you don't get any drone parts, because ultimately that's kind of like the best stuff that you can get out of this chest right over here. But there's some other good chests over here as well they can pretty consistently hit upon. That's usually what we do, because some of these side rooms, while they are filled with acid melters, you have to be a little bit careful, because if an acid melter hits you, your armor gets positively obliterated, my friend. I mean, as long as you're being a little bit on the careful side, you can be good, and you can get some pretty good stuff. And ooh, a little bit of white paint. I got so much paint back at home that I don't really care about that too much, but good to know, good to know. Okie dokie artichoke though. Let's go ahead and make sure. I mean, these weapons should continue serving us fine. The water I have de-electrified, so that is good. We have cleared out that little side of shenanigans over there. We have cleared out the upstairs, so we gotta start making our way towards the latter half of the warehouse. We still gotta clear the exterior of this location as well, and we will get to doing that. Don't you worry, don't you worry. We got a little bit of food over here. Let's go and chow down on that. Make sure that our stomach is nice and full, so we don't start going hungry in the middle of some of these high-octane battles that we got coming your way. But yeah, apologies for those of y'all that maybe did miss the memo. I tried announcing it during the streams leading up to the vacation. I tried announcing it in like videos and stuff and mentioning stuff like that. But yeah, just last couple of weeks there weren't any streams because I was on vacation. But we're back, so the streams are back at your regularly scheduled time. So set to be Starsnipe every Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So looking forward to seeing some boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, over there, because it's always a ball being able to hang out with y'all and play some Last Day on Earth live. And let's not get hit by the acid melting. The only thing I like that is melted is a patty melt. Okay, give me a patty melt. How about that? I mean, maybe there's other melted things that I like, but definitely patty melts, man. Those are a fantastic meal, if you ask me. And what's the second chest? It is bang! That chest over there. Now here's the thing, though. I'm pretty good at a lot of the materials that this chest drops besides copper wire. So there's a good chance that the chest that we're gonna be looking for hopefully will come in the form of the 4th chest that spawns in that you have to repair the forklift to get to. Luckily, I have repaired the forklift, so you don't gotta worry about that. Let's go and climb down the ladder. We're gonna summon the wrath of some of these carrions. Let's go and try to take some of these schmucks down, especially before the acid melter catches up to us, because I don't want to have to deal with the acid melter while I'm also dealing with all these carrions, because the carrions also can freaking heal themselves up, and the carrion does a good amount of, yeah, he does a good amount of, okay, and then the spitter over here does this thing, the freaking toxic darter. I hate the toxic darter. I was getting their names mixed up a little bit. I was a little bit all over the place. I apologize. I talk a lot. I know. But whatchamacallit. Okay, so we managed to take that down. Lexi is gonna help us. I thought Lexi was gonna help us take out the parasites, but then she said, nah, psych, bruh. But that's all right. I'll get to work on these puppies over here. We got a fast router trying to sneak up on us. Too bad. So sad he ain't sneaking up on me, dog. Let's go and don't have to use the band-aid quite yet. Let's go and I think there's still gonna be one more carrion that tries to run up on us that we're gonna have to go ahead and dispatch here shortly. And that's gonna be, yep, right over there. Man, I love dealing with these guys one at a time though, because it's a lot easier to kill them before they manage to reach you, because if they reach you, and hit you, they heal 30 health, which is annoying because my pistol does 30 damage. So if I take long enough, I mean, they're just gonna constantly be healing the entire time, which is not something that I'm particularly fond of. What I am fond of is some of the chests in this location, like this one at times. Today, I don't know, man, only one lens, still very rare loot and not the easiest stuff to get outside of this location, but like, I'm looking for like mini Uzis, man, like some guns, because like some of the chests here can seriously drop like full durability shotguns and just cracked out stuff like that. And speaking of which, there's a little luck chest over here, actually it's a pretty big chest, that might be able to help us with exactly that. No guns, but some pretty good stuff that I will definitely be acquiring. Thank you very much. But yeah, super excited, super stoked to be back and play last hour. The vacation was incredible for those of y'all that are probably wondering, Star, how was the vacation? Awesome time, man. It was so good to be able to kick back and relax a little bit, you know, enjoy some beautiful Sicilian wines and food, and let's go at M16, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just be able to kick back, relax, and enjoy a lot of that type of stuff. Enjoy some nice sandy beaches down there, some really warm water, and just overall great time. I tried posting a few photos actually over on my Instagram. If y'all don't know, I do have an Instagram y'all can go over and follow it. There should be a link in most of the videos as well. And actually, really quickly, moment of truth, did we get the... I don't think we got the good chest, man. The other chest that spawns in here, this is the Genesis chest. The other one that is unmarked usually drops a ton of copper wire, and currently I need a ton of copper wire that unfortunately we can still, I believe, get from the settlement crate, the second crate that spawned in that we passed by. So again, I'll get the drone and be sure to scan that. But first things first, maybe we gotta clear out the location anyway to get to that side of things. And ooh, we got some pretty decent stuff over here. Thank you very kindly. I mean, I'll come back for probably a lot of this stuff, but yeah, for now, I'll put away a few things over here just so I can. And actually, let's just go ahead and I'll throw in that, whatchamacallit, just for the sake of having my inventory kind of fleshed out a little bit here and just having a bunch of stuff there. Like I said, I'll still come back for this. We got 2 whole days until this location despawns, so I can come back for a lot of the stuff, toss it over in the repair bench, stuff like that. So we got flexibility, no worries there. But okie dokie artichoke, we now have to go and make our way towards the exterior, towards the docks side of the warehouse, and that is where things might escalate a little bit. Although, you know what? I guess, no, I'll just grab those guns and just burn through them. Yeah, because there's gonna be a few weaker enemies that we should be able to take down before we get to the big boss. That's gonna make things a little bit trickier. But anyways, I digress. But like I was saying, I'm actually trying to post a few photos over there. I'll probably try to post a few more over on the Instagram side of things too. Just kind of like some photos of the adventures, the travels of me and my fiance, Ada, while we were there. And hopefully y'all get a kick out of it, man. And if you haven't yet, hey, great chance to follow me over on Instagram. I'll try to post stuff whenever I'm doing cool stuff over there, and y'all can get maybe a sneak peek of the real side of things. At first, we were happy to get large containers. We thought they would be cold and we'd be able to store all the food. Blah, 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 blah. Someone started knocking and banging on the roof at night. Then they roared. No one's there to open the containers. That's because they got bosses. We talking the miner or we talking the butcher? It depends, compadre. And it depends on, well, pure luck. Like, there's no real way to kind of know what's gonna spawn in until you open the door and it's like, oh, peekaboo, I see you. Let's go and get the little pistol drizzle over here as well. We're gonna want to deal with a sailor. Pistol drizzle him down, and then why don't we get some shotgun right up in here as well? Let's hit the sailor with some blasts of that. Some stay dry while others feel the pain. Shotgun rain. Another sailor hops aboard the bullet train. Shotgun rain. And now we're gonna have 2 big boys over here on the ship that we gotta deal with. Luckily, we should be able to bring them over one at a time instead of dealing with both at the same time. We do have some people on board trying to crawl their way out and cause a little bit of a ruckus. And guess what? That's where we bring out the ability! A nice little area of effect attack from Shotgun Rain. The Shotgun Rain ability, as I like to call it, because man, it is such a thing of beauty to be able to do a big old blast like that. See you later. Goodbye to you, my friend. And let's go and to figure out which one of these crates we want to open. So we know for a fact that this one will not have the boss inside of it because it has the pale zombies that have caused bleeding. Gosh darn it, I hate when they manage to get a freaking hit off on me like that. Luckily, I'll be able to go ahead and heal shortly. bang. There we go. Yeah, the freaking pale zombies. You got to worry about them hitting you because if they do, they can definitely inflict a little bit of damage to you. No. Ah, gosh darn it. And that one managed to get me too. I guess the shotgun isn't really the best for dealing with that particular enemy, but whatevs, man. We will make do. Let's go and heal up right over there. And now we know that the rest of the enemies we're going to be dealing with are going to be of a bit harder difficulty. Or I mean, I don't know. Well, there might still be a few like easy enemies that spawn in one of the crates, but then the other crate is going to have the real hard stuff, you know? And thank you for the high-tech components. I'll take that. A bit bummed by the lack of dope weaponry in here, but that's all right, man. You can't always win every one of these transportation hub runs, but we have definitely had some pretty big bangers coming out of here, but not this time. That's right. Now we got to mentally prepare for what's going to be coming out of some of these crates. Which one do we want to open first? I say we go for this one. And good morning, Butcher. How you doing, baby? Okie dokie. I'm gonna want to go and bring you as far away from the turkeys as possible because, yeah. The turkeys, are the key to the Butcher boss. The turkeys are what the Butcher uses to heal himself. And actually, after I break one of these scars from shooting him profusely enough, I'm gonna go and swap in the VSS actually, because that's gonna be a bit more useful for shooting the Butcher after he starts running away. Because after you whittle his health down enough, I forget the exact number, but after you get his health down enough, he will start running to his turkeys, his personal turkey supply, and attempting to eat them and healing himself when he does that. Although if you kill the turkeys before he does that, he's not able to heal, which is actually a pretty big plus if you ask me. But all right, let's just go and kind of like play a little bit of ring around the rosy around this thing. And beautiful, perfect time right over here to go and throw in a VSS. Oh no, did not mean to go that way, but that's all right. Good opportunity to get him to do one of his like little area of effect attacks, because whenever he does one of those instead of like a normal attack, it is very handy. Although when he hits me, he does freaking heal too, so it's not something that we want to like play with too lightly over here. Oh, and look at that, he starts to run away, and this is where the VSS is the perfect weapon to be able to kind of like hunt him down a little bit, because the VSS does a lot of damage for a weapon that does not require like recoil, and I mean, it just instantly fires, whereas some of the other ones, you know, you have to kind of like stand still and fire. And what we're gonna do is take this opportunity to take down some of these turkeys. No, the turkey pecked me. No, it continues pecking me. Get that guy out of here, turkeys. And we're gonna, although he's frozen for some reason. Okay, he's trying to get his last turkey. Get that guy out of here, turkey. And boom, with that, the turkeys have been taken down, and the Butcher is unable to heal. And guess what? That right there is the cheeky way of taking our friend down, because he was never able to heal off of some of the wild turkeys. Ow, the turkeys continue to peck me though. You gotta be careful about that. I don't want to waste any bullets shooting you guys, but there you have it. Butcher done, easy peasy. Now here's the thing. If you aren't as good as with managing the turkey problem, oh well, hello, little pest. Okay, I'll take care of you, pesty boy. You can drop some nice stuff for the laboratory that I actually would not mind if you could. And I suppose we'll switch over to VSS and take out this pest before he disappears. I don't think he can disappear though anywhere, like crawl out of the map or anything like that. I don't think that we have to worry about that. How many? I didn't even end up using too many medkits, which is also a little bit of a dub too, if you ask me. But I will take for now the data disc and the first aid kit. And I've actually now, because I forgot to bring the drone, gotta go and make a quick run back home to grab the drone. While I'm doing that, great excuse to offload some of the rest of the stuff from our inventory, so I have a completely empty inventory when we come back, and we can use that to properly loot the heck out of this place, because there's gonna be a lot of loot coming our way that I am super stoked for. And then of course, after we are done unearthing the loot of the transportation hub, it's time for us to unearth the suburbs and see exactly the mystery of what is going on inside. And lovely, we are back. Our inventory is looking pretty darn empty. We've got the drone that we required to crack on open some of these crates, or I suppose to scan the crates, because the actual opening process of the crates is via the cargo delivery terminal. Although you need to be able to scan the crate first to be able to open the darn thing, and that's exactly what I intend on doing. Specifically the second crate, because that drops a lot of settlement items that otherwise you have to get through essentially upgrading your settlement, including items that you need like a level 4 settlement to get, one of which is the copper wire that I'm really looking forward to. Although the copper wire also can be acquired, and actually it seems like is a lot more consistently acquired from the 4th crate. Although, and I mean, I'll scan the 4th crate too just to be able to show it off for y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. The current version of the 4th crate is like the Genesis crate, which does not drop the copper wire that I am looking for. And of course, the big reason for that is because the copper wire is actually a level 4 settlement thing that you need like a level 4 settlement for. You actually have to upgrade your walls all the way up to level 4, which is a bit of a pricey maneuver. And my settlement, unfortunately, is not that end game, although it is something that I am working towards. And ideally, we'll actually be able to produce some massive settlement upgrades within the next episode or so of Last Down if all does go according to plan. So keep an eye out for that, because I would absolutely love to be able to actually produce some of these materials and stuff on my own, because currently, I mean, without the settlement workbenches of that level 4 settlement, the only way to get items like copper wire is actually through doing transportation hub runs. So again, like I was talking about, we're gonna go and scan this thing over here on the lickety split so I can show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, while I'm at it too, I mean, might as well, you know, when in Rome, go and scan this puppy over here too, and boop, and just let that thing do its thing. Is it like, can I like go down here? Okay, yeah, he's gonna keep doing that. I was gonna wonder if like maybe because I climbed down the ladder, it was gonna like glitch out the drone or something, but no. The drone appears to be a big chillin', so we are looking good over there. Let's go and open up that door and let's make our way back over to the cargo terminal, which I have not been to it in a hot minute because of the freaking vacation, man. But it's good to be back, like I've been saying, man. It is so good to be back, especially because, like, dude, oh man, I had the travels to get back home, but I will detail this here in a second after we go and show off exactly what I'm talking about. This is the Genesis version of the crate. There's another version that personally has the loot that I'm looking for more so, but this second crate over here is a lot of items from the settlement, which is absolutely something that I do want to get my hands on. I like it used to show the copper wire as a possible loot item. I haven't gotten copper wire from this crate in a while though. I don't know if like the loot changed or not, but I have gotten copper wire from the other version of the 4th crate that I was talking about. But anyways, I digress. Big money, no whammy, big money, no whammy, big money, no whammy. And no copper wire, unfortunately. Gosh freaking darn it, man. I mean, a lot of good stuff though, and a lot of, I mean, still very tough to get settlement items. But yeah, at this point, the settlement, like the #1 thing that I want to get my hands on, particularly so I can finally build the drone upgrade workbench. Whatchamacallit, there's actually a second stage to the drone upgrade workbench that you have to craft, and that stage does involve getting your hands on 40 copper wire. That's a lot of wire, baby. But yeah, like I was also saying, it's really good to be back and be able to like sleep in my own bed and stuff, man, because like near the end of the vacation, things got a tiny bit stressful. Because there was a fire at the Catania airport over in Sicily. My flight got canceled and there was a massive last-minute scramble to be able to find a way home, man, and that was so stressful. Finally made my way back home though, but dude, like the last like 2 days of vacation were just like filled with a lot of stress and not as enjoyable as I was hoping for, man. But I digress, because now it's time for the big kahuna of today. As promised, a look inside of the Suburb location. Boom! And in order to see this, we gotta take a little bit of a look back. Because a look inside of the Suburb location, this is actually something that has been brewing for the past, as unbelievable as this sounds to say, 6 years. This image that you are seeing here was shared by the developers of Last Day on Earth back in November of 2017. With the caption, as you know, our team set many goals to complete, new locations, holiday events, and many other things that you haven't heard about yet. But we've already mentioned city locations and even promised to show you 3D models of houses of a suburb. Here it is. So it's literally them showing us, and the caption mentions these are models and a look into what that suburb is going to look like. And it's gonna be kind of like a suburb, you know, fences separating a bunch of these different houses and stuff. That's kind of something that we can look forward to. The caption does also hint towards a city location because again, suburbs tend to be, you know, like kind of like, you know, like on the outskirts of cities, because suburbs, I mean, usually aren't in the middle of nowhere. Usually suburbs are on the outskirts of cities, which is why they're called suburbs, because it's like suburban, you know, instead of like an urban area, like a city, it's suburban, which means like it's kind of like like, it's not quite yet a rural area like farms, but it's not quite like super dense urban area. It's kind of like that in between. And in order for that in between to exist, you know, in order for a suburb to exist, the city has to exist. I was talking about this in a previous video, but this caption kind of just further proves that point, that this suburb is kind of going to be like the first step towards a city-esque location, which is very, very exciting. And once you kind of like take that into account with the whole like stories and act and stuff like that, things also get a little bit interesting. But yeah, I mean, as you can see from the image, it does feel like it's going to be a variety of houses spread out across the location. It's going to be interesting to see if maybe there's going to be like a random generation component to the location, or maybe a different house setup will kind of like generate in each kind of like plot of the suburb. That's an interesting mechanic that we might get to see. That'd be pretty cool to see, actually. I'd love to see something like that. But yeah, the image is kind of like a little bit of a preview of that. Hopefully it's not so gray and desolate. Hopefully we actually get a little bit more in terms of like grass and, you know, maybe a little bit of greenery to make the suburb feel a little bit more alive. And of course, the image over here also does seem to kind of like hint towards, you know, a potential like suburban like town square with like, you know, suburban houses more so on the outskirts of the town square, and the town square having, you know, like some stores, having like a central area and stuff like that. So a few different interesting things going on, but this does make it seem like the scope and scale of the suburb location might be the biggest that we have seen so far in Last Hour, which is a very, very exciting thing. And things get even more exciting when you think about how all of this could play together, especially with the story, because as we know, Act 3 is going to center around the boat and the port and all that type of stuff. And I think one kind of like, you know, what seems to make a lot of sense in my head for how this is going to play out is that that's going to entail the port laboratory location, because that's literally the image that we see inside of the inside of that preview. As we know, down in the depths of the laboratory, there's a train/trolley. In the laboratory, I mean, you'd probably have to have a way to commute to the laboratory since it's so far away, and a lot of people probably worked at the laboratory and worked at the port as a job. And if there's a large population center over here, so it's very possible that that train is actually one potential way that we'll be able to go and reach the suburb. So it seems like Act 3 might have a lot to do with potentially repairing that train line, repairing that trolley, and making our way over to the suburb. And then if that's the case, I could see kind of like exploring the suburb and potentially making our way over into the city that the suburb should be by as a part of, you know, Act 4 or something like that, before ultimately Act 5 involves the crafting of the helicopter and the utilization of the helicopter to get to locations like the oil rig, which explicitly indicate the necessity of the helicopter, and also Bunker Charlie, which explicitly indicates the necessity of the helicopter. And also another thing that is indicated by that necessity is that the that the suburb/city location very well is going to be the secret to getting tungsten bars, whether it's that we're going to be able to, you know, find like tungsten ore deposits in the depth of some location over by the suburb/city. Maybe we'll be able to, you know, harvest the like scrap tungsten from some different areas within the suburb/city, or it might even be that it's just literally an item where tungsten bars straight up are looted from a certain aspect or location within the suburb/city, and then that plays very nicely together into the whole kind of like stories timeline act thing, because, you know, if the third act is kind of unlocking and reaching the suburbs, the fourth act is kind of like, you know, going from the suburbs to the city, and the fifth act is kind of like leveraging what you get from the city to build a helicopter and then get to Bunker Charlie / the oil rig, whatever it might be. A lot of interesting things going on here, man, with all these stories, and just what the latest update has brought with the introduction / tease of the suburb really does help tie a lot of things together and give us a potential good look at what the future of Last Hour on Earth does indeedly hold. And it is going to be an interesting one, I tell you what. And speaking of interesting, boom, here's another image. This is more concept art though. This was shared in August of 2017. As promised, we are sharing one of the possible future locations, a city-like settlement. Yes, we are working on new zones every day, and we can kind of see a very suburban type feel here, where we have, again, houses within what appears to be like a suburb type area. You know, you can see kind of like the white picket fence a little bit in the top right hand corner of the screen, and just kind of houses by each other. So another potential preview for potentially the vibe that we might be getting out of a suburb type location, being able to climb onto the roofs of the houses. I mean, mechanic that's actually been introduced a few updates ago. I think ever since like the Chinese New Year update, I believe, or the Lunar New Year update, I believe that introduced the first aspect of being able to, you know, like climb to different levels within the same location. It's even something that we did over at the transport hub not too long ago. And in this very video, we climb up a ladder and we're on the second floor. So that might be an aspect that we get out of the suburbs, being able to climb onto the roofs of houses, being able to loot the second stories of suburban houses. And then of course, because it's a suburb location, a lot of people are probably there because it's just a more densely populated area than some of these like more remote locations. You know, that also entails itself to big zombie hordes and potentially some very interesting gameplay mechanics that will encompass and entail as well. And then of course, boom, one more image. This one shared in June of 2017 with the caption, "New locations are under development." And again, what appears to be a little bit of a concept art for a suburb type location. You can see, you know, like many houses, streets, cars, roads, you know, the white picket fences type of thing, the whole shebang. And the interesting thing here is in the top right hand corner of the screen, you can see what appears to be a holdout of survivors, like some sort of friendly settlement within this entire suburb location, which is definitely a very viable gameplay mechanic and something that we might see in this upcoming suburb location. Because I mean, you know, if there were a lot of people living in the suburb, it's kind of hard to think that everybody in the suburb would be undead. And you know, there are probably going to be people still alive trying to survive within that suburb. Now the question is, are they going to be friendly? Are they going to be enemies? Do we have to help them defend against the zombie horde, or do we have to infiltrate their base because they're going to be evil raiders? Maybe there's going to be multiple factions, a friendly NPC base, enemy raider NPC bases within this location. There's so many different possibilities, and this concept art definitely makes things interesting and does kind of further that idea that this suburb location seems like it's going to kind of encompass a larger amount of zombies and just itself be a large location, which is some very, very exciting stuff on the horizon that I am definitely looking forward to, and hopefully that y'all are as well. So I'd love to hear from y'all in that comment section down below exactly what y'all do and think of some of these images from the past that explicitly mention this suburb location, that explicitly kind of rope in the city and are kind of, you know, we can kind of see this is a location that has really been in the works for a hot minute. And with that in mind, it does seem like something that is going to be a really big deal when it finally does hit, once you kind of tie in how this might play together with all the acts and stuff. Because I mean, unlocking, you know, the preview of the suburb, you kind of have to complete like Act 2 before you can even unlock the transport hub, which makes it seem like, you know, getting to the suburb is going to be a big part of Act 3. And not just that, I mean, we also know that from, you know, some of the previous videos where we were doing some of the Act 2 quest lines, you know, there are mentions of New Eden over within, you know, the suburb or something like that. A suburb kind of tying into this concept of New Eden, which kind of, you know, has ties to like some of the cults from previous seasons that we've kind of like had to play through, so through some of those limited time events and stuff like that. So a lot of interesting things and a lot of potential things to tie all of this in. So I would love to hear from y'all in that comment section down below what y'all think about this, how y'all think this is all going to tie in, and what y'all think of this upcoming settlement slash suburb slash city location. How excited y'all are about it, how y'all think it's going to play out, any and all that type of jazz. Please let me know, because there seriously is so much to kind of unpack here that I would love to hear how y'all think it's all gonna come together. Because I mean, man, with the power of the community, with the power of all of us kind of like brainstorming and putting the pieces of the puzzle together, I really think that we can get a pretty comprehensive view of how things may be. So I'm looking forward to that in that comment section down below. Boy, that's it with that done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's gonna start breaking down this episode of Last Day on Earth. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.